Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect here in this word in truth and sincerity. Okay, so just want to do a quick lesson entitled, Through Faith Are We Made Whole? Because, in the spirit, I want to liken this lesson, but we have a lot of examples in the scriptures of how faith literally, healed individuals. Through their faith, they were literally healed. But, I like to extrapolate these kind of situations and liken it in the spirit, and what I'm likening it to in the spirit is how, we were sick as a people. We were sick, and through faith, we were healed, all right, through Yahweh Shai, man. So this is Hebrews 11:1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So the fact that you believe it, having not seen it yet, that's a big deal, man. And that's a gift by Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. The fact that, in these times, we haven't seen Yahweh Shai physically, yet we still believe that he's here. We still believe that, he's coming back, man. Because you got to think about it right now in this godless time, this faithless time. A lot of people really don't, believe in Yahweh Shai. Some claim that they do, but they really don't, man. You even got people going as far as to blaspheming, all right, the Lord. It says, I'm going to jump down to verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You see, so without the faith, all right, it is impossible to please Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And these accounts I'm looking in the scriptures, it shows you that these individuals, they were really healed, through the faith that they had in the Lord, man. And the first account that I want to get is Acts 14. It says, Acts 14:8. It says, and there sat a certain man at Lystra, impotent in his feet, being a cripple from his mother's womb, who never had walked. So he was pretty much crippled from birth. Okay, verse 9. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him, and perceiving that he had faith to be healed. You see that? So he had faith that he would be healed, man. And what happened? Verse 10 said, with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked. And the apostles, they were doing these things through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And so, like, I want to say this too. When I think about these accounts and I read these accounts in the scriptures, it makes me think about how you're going to have a lot of individuals coming up looking to be healed. And the fact that they're going to be doing that is going to be through what? It's going to be through faith, man. Especially a lot of these people that took, the what, all right, and that probably didn't know any better. And they're going to be coming up, listening to brothers preach, and they're going to be healed, man. Brothers going to be praying on certain individuals. They're going to be all right. All right, and I truly believe that. I believe that you're going to have, blind people coming up with their families. You're going to have, cripples coming up. You might have somebody that was crippled by an accident, by being in a so-called car accident. And, they're going to come up, with their family. And these are things that I meditate on, man. Like in a wheelchair or looking to be healed, and brothers going to pray on them, and they're going to walk. They're going to get up on the spot and walk, man. These are the things that Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai is getting ready to make happen, man. Okay. It says, verse 10, it said, with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet, and he leaped and walked. And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. Now, the people started, worshiping, Paul and Barnabas, which is going off, verse 12. And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius because he was the chief speaker. See, they started worshiping him, and they had to be corrected on that, which they were. Verse 13. Then the priests of Jupiter, which was before their city, brought oxen and garlands unto the gates, and would have done sacrifice with the people, which when the apostles Barnabas and Paul heard of, they rent their clothes and ran in among the people, crying out, because they were not supposed to do that. You want to give sacrifice to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, not to men. Verse 15 is saying, Sirs, why do you these things? We also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you that you should turn from these vanities unto the living power, which made heaven and earth and the sea and all things that are therein. So Paul, and Barnabas is pretty much, correcting them on this matter. Worship Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, not us. But the point was, read in this chapter about the man being healed, man. Once again, you gotta believe these, you gotta believe, these words in real time, not just reading it. And that's the way I do it. When I read these words, I look at it in modern times and how these situations would go down in these times. Once again, somebody in the wheelchair that probably got crippled or in an accident or, from birth, and they come up crying, believing that Yahweh Shai or believing the words spoken by the prophets, are true, and they get prayed on, and boom, they get up on the spot and walk, But simply put, how was this done? It was done because that individual had faith that they would walk again, that in the name of Yahweh Shai they would be able to walk, So these are things that, that we're expecting, man. So we know when it happens, we're not going to be surprised, but we're going to give glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because once again, look, we don't know, we don't see these things yet, but we believe it, and we're looking forward to it, man. And when these things happen, it's going to be an ultimate faith booster, man. Mark 5:24, and Yahushua went with them, and much people followed him and thronged him. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing bettered, but rather grew worse. And you can liken this in today's time of a certain individual, that is sick, that's been sick for a long time, and this whole time she's been going to, the hospital, the doctor's office, paying for medication, taking these pills, and nothing has gotten better, But then this certain individual hears Yahweh Shai being preached and goes to visit the brothers or whatever camp, and pretty much gets prayed on by the Akim, and boom, she's healed on the spot, man. And how is that going to be done? Of course, it's going to be done in the name of Yahweh Shai. That individual got to have faith that, she will be healed. He or she will be healed, man. Because once again, the Lord is not dealing with those that don't have faith. It says, I'm going to read verse 26 again, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. So you spending all this money for no reason, because I'm not getting better, but I'm getting worse. You see, when she had heard of Yahweh Shai, she came and pressed behind and touched his garment. For she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. So this certain woman had faith that if I touch his clothes, surely this issue of blood is going to stop. Which it did. Not 29. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. And once again, that was done through her faith, man, which is a beautiful thing. Call all Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And once again, these are the things that's going to be happening in today's time, man. These miracles that we read, in the Gospels, in the book of Acts, and so on and so forth. These are things that, we're going to see happening in modern times, by the men of the Lord, through the spirit of Yahushua, man. It says, verse 30, and Yahushua, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest thou, who touched me? And he looked round about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him, and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace, and be whole of thy plague. Okay? The Lord said it, thy faith hath made thee whole. Because once again, if she didn't have faith, she would have walked away, with that fountain of blood still. Verse 35, while he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, thy daughter is dead. Why troublest thou the master any further? As soon as Yahushua heard the word that was spoken, he saith unto the ruler of the synagogue, be not afraid, only believe. Believe that, your daughter, can be raised up again, man. In today's time, somebody that dies, people believe that they're gone forever, man. So, you gotta think about it. A person being raised up by men of the Lord, that's gonna be a mighty work. And that's something too that I truly believe is gonna be happening. You're gonna have certain individuals being raised up from the dead, man. Remember, Yahushua said, he that believeth on he that believeth on me, greater works shall he do also. And Yahushua did mighty works. Yet he said that if those that believe on me, greater works will he do also, man. 37, and he suffered no man to follow him, save Peter and James and John, the brother of James. And he cometh to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and seeth the tumult, and them that wept and wailed greatly. And when he was come in, he saith unto them, why make ye this ado, and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleepeth. And Yahushua was saying, she's not dead, she's just sleeping. Because he was about to raise her up. And they laughed him to scorn. And these were the faithless ones. After he said this, they started laughing, because they didn't believe that she'd be raised up. And what did the Lord do? But when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel and them that were with him, and entereth in where the damsel was lying. And he took the damsel by the hand and said unto her, Talitha Kumai, which is being interpreted, damsel, I say unto thee, arise. And straightway the damsel arose and walked, for she was of the age of 12 years, and they were astonished with a great astonishment. They were surprised. And that right there should be a big faith booster. 43, and he charged them straitly that no man should know it, and commanded that something should be given her to eat. So, the point being in this chapter also is that through faith were these miracles done. Now, like I said earlier, obviously Yahushua had the power to do these things. All right. But if these individuals did not have faith, they wouldn't have been done. So that's pretty much the point. I just want to do this lesson concerning faith, and how this is a major attribute within the truth, and everything we do within this truth is through faith, man. And once again, faith is going to be something that we're going to need in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Let's get this in the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, and that's talking about Esau. But the latter part says, but the just shall live by his faith. So once again, it's through faith that we do what we do in this truth, in this ministry, and in our everyday lives. We live in faith. Knowing that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to protect us in this wicked world, man. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Until next time, I say shalom.